You said to smile.
Happy New Year. We're here. We're Mike and Marianne, Remax Empower in Burbank. We're your local real estate team, providing you with information and resources about real estate in Burbank and all of California. Did you know that?
Throughout California. Better say it that way.
Okay, Dad. Next.
Oh, well, it's been a
huh?
bit since we recorded a video.
Yeah.
Wonder why we're doing it now. Well, lots changed though. We'll have to tell you about it. As you heard in her intro that we were, where are you going? You heard it in her intro. Well, you put a script up, you want me to read it, now you move it on me.
Well, I thought you memorized it.
Holy cow. Jeez. Starting off this year already. That's why I brought my glasses. But in her intro, you noticed that she'd said Remax Empower. We have changed locations from companies that we work with, or worked for, and we're now with Remax. We moved from John Hart.
That's a bad look on camera. Take your glasses off.
Yeah, but
the light reflects, and then you don't look as beautiful.
I'm going to get my sunglasses here in a second because it's pretty bright. But anyway, we're at Remax. We've been here since October. We thought that this is probably a better move for us in that I think it will help us do a better job of serving our clients and their needs in what we do.
Well, it's the largest real estate company in the world, correct?
I believe it is, and most well known probably.
I would say so.
And they're huge online marketing, advertising, support listings. You see them at stadiums. You see them advertising sporting events, etc. So longevity and brand recognition, I guess, are big things. Did I read your part or did?
It's kind of huge. No, Mike, you did great. I'm really proud of you.
I lost my razor. I need to shave. Anyway, sorry. Maybe you didn't recognize me. But I got a second job during December.
Santa.
Ho, ho, ho. How funny.
So we have a new endeavor. You want to share what that is?
Yeah. We officially started. We've been doing it for a while. But we officially decided, since we're picking up more and more clients, we've decided to open up our property management business. We're representing a number of landlords and a large amount of properties, commercial and residential income properties. So we're going to start doing that along with our real estate firm and sell real estate. We will help our people buy income property, and anywhere from fix-its and flips to houses to apartment complexes
to buy and hold.
Buy and hold for investments, and then go ahead, you go.
Basically, our job is to be the middleman between the tenant and the owner. A lot of times owners try to manage their own properties and it kind of becomes a mess because tenants become friends and then friends expect special favors.
Or think they become friends. But
and then those special favors go into like, well, I can't pay my rent until the middle of the month, or, and a lot of times tenants don't understand that landlords use their property management or their investment properties as their source of income, or they're putting that money towards their retirement. Is your phone ringing?
No.
Oh. So they put their money towards their retirement. It's not just, well, the landlord can afford it. He gets rent every month and this is, he's rich. It's not always the case. So our job is to be the intermediary and help people understand that this is a business. It's not a favor.
You said it well. Yeah, our job is to be the middle person like we are in a transaction and be able to tell people yes, no, do the background checks from everything from A to Z, checking any criminal records, any banking histories.
Yeah.
And we help our landlords with those things, and then keep them out of it so that they don't make any mistakes or get caught doing things.
And sometimes it's the flip,
yep,
where the landlord thinks, well, I don't have to go over there right now, or I don't have to handle that right now. So it's our job to protect the tenant as well, because the tenant is our customer as well.
Correct.
So we have to make sure that they're protected.
So anyway, we're doing that now. So if you know someone who has income property, who has a hard time managing it, or has a is a pain in the rear for them because they don't like dealing with the tenants,
Go for it.
give them to me. I mean it that way. But we won't have a problem. We'll do a good job representing you, and we'll help you. And it's a nominal fee. We charge a small percentage on a monthly basis, and we'll work things out with you. So give us a call.
So it's officially the new year, 2020.
Wow, I can't believe it. I'm 41. Okay. That's right.
So that wasn't what I was going to
Wishful thinking.
There's some new California laws that have come into play.
Yeah.
And next week, we're talking about a big one.
What's new about new California laws?
There's AB 1482, the Tenant Protection Act, was kind of huge. It affects all or most investment property owners. There's a new ADU law that was passed at the state level that wasn't voted on. It affects all of California. And if you're a single family residence owner, zoned R1, you may be concerned. So we'll talk to you about that as well. And then the biggest one, Prop 13 repeal.
They're trying to.
They're trying to. That's what we're talking about today. So this is huge. And it's not just, well, we might be changing taxes. This is California, the way it's written is very tricky. And it leads you to believe that
even the title is tricky based on, I think it's our Attorney General, Javier Becerra, who's decided to change things. He couldn't get it passed last time. So now we're calling it the Education and Community Funding Act, or
something similar.
Something silly that doesn't want to even address what the topic's about. It's about raising taxes on us again.
So you want to kind of enlighten people what Prop 13 is?
Only because you probably weren't around when Howard Jarvis wrote it.
Probably. Well, I was, but I was only 4.
You weren't buying properties then. Most of us know Prop 13 was put in place years ago when taxes were just bombarding people, and Howard Jarvis came in and they wrote this law up, and we got this proposition to pass. And because of it, California has been kind of the lead to the rest of the country in property taxes. We're probably the lowest there is.
Or how they're managed.
Yeah, and how they're managed. But now you can only be, prior to that, the state would give you a value of your property, and you'd be paying a tax based on that value, and it was a lot higher than 1%. Prop 13 came in and basically said that the buyers and sellers will determine value when they purchase, and you will pay a 1.25% property tax on the value of your property at the time of purchase. And they can incrementally raise it 1% of that value, I think annually. Or every 2 years, whatever it is. But meaning that if your tax is $1,000, 1% of that is only $1, so it would go up $1 basically, I guess. So it's not a big increase. It's an increase on the number of the tax, not on the value of your house. So it's really small, and it helps people stay in their properties. And now it's going to affect, they're coming after commercial properties first, and they're going to act like it's not going to affect homeowners, but they'll come after homeowners next, and income property owners because they want our money, obviously.
Right, and I think the thing people don't seem to take into consideration is when you hear the word commercial property or industrial property, you're thinking large. The thing that comes to my mind anyways is usually like a big warehouse, something that, somebody stores boxes and things to be distributed in. But the reality is commercial properties are your mechanic's shop, your hair salon, your grocery store, your mom and pop corner market, your
And they lease those properties from property owners.
Or they own them.
But if they lease them from the perspective, and I only say it from this perspective because most times people say, well, I don't own the property, it's not going to affect me. It will affect you because the owner got to where he's at because he's a smart person, not his dumb person. And if they raise taxes on him, he's not going to pay it. Okay, he's going to pass it on to his tenant. And that tenant, the only way they can pay for it is by raising their prices on
their
the
services.
services or the items that they sell. So it inevitably falls all the way down to us, the middle class, lower class. It ends up paying those fees from the state. So it's kind of like a hidden tax on us, but they try to say it's the people that own those properties.
Yeah. So, it's a conundrum, right?
Well, we fought it before. I think we'll fight it again. I think
should
businesses
fight
are going to get involved. I think more realtors need to get involved and let consumers and people know that this affects all of us, not just the owners of property. It will affect tenants, and then those tenants will pass those costs on to the consumer, and it's a vicious circle.
And the other thing that I think will be a repercussion of this is a lot of businesses may end up closing because they can't make it work by raising prices. You raise prices, you lose customers.
And let's take it a step further. I mean, once it gets to properties, to individuals, single-family residences, and it will. A mom and pop who bought their house back in the 70s or 60s, and they're retired and they're living on a fixed income, aren't going to be able to pay those taxes because they're going to go fast, and they're going to because we all know you buy a house in the 60s or 70s in Burbank, they're probably worth $1 million or more now. And if you're based just on 1%, that's $12,000 a year.
Not $20,000 a year.
Yeah, not what they originally bought it at. And next thing you know, it'll go even higher if it goes to 2 or 3%. So you got to be careful. We all got to think about this and make sure that it's the right move. It's not going to benefit anybody than those people up in Sacramento, and it's going to line their pockets full of our money again. But that's typical for government. So
well, and I think that it's also important that people understand the way in which the money will be dispersed from this. If people vote yes, the first people to be paid, as usual, is the state to supplement revenue. So the supplement decreased, I'm reading this so I don't get it wrong, decreased revenue from the state's personal income tax and corporation tax due to increased tax deductions. That's interesting. And then the second is to the counties to cover the cost of implementing the measure. So now it's costing them money to implement the measure. Interesting, right? So now we have to pay them for that. And then the last people to get paid are the people who are in the headline, the schools.
Yeah.
They're the very last people to get paid, the schools and the community colleges. So if it's truly an education thing, why aren't they being paid first?
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. Being on the school board years ago, let's face it, we're going to have the lottery. The lottery is going to save us. We're going to make so much money off the lottery. And what they didn't realize is the state came in and said, well, instead of you getting we're going to give you the lottery money, but the amount you get, we're going to take out of your regular funding. It was a farce. It was a debacle.
$0.
And the increase is little, if any. It wasn't going to be we got what they put aside in the general fund plus the money. They worked their way around and found a way that they could take it and give it back to us.
So our job is to inform you. It is to ask you to really be educated about what it is that you're being asked to vote on. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I think you should vote no.
Well, but again, you look at the way, if you look at how we've just, showed you the process of how things work, it's gonna go all the way down to the little guy. The little guy's gonna pay the tax.
And so now we're gonna pay 10.25% sales tax on top of higher prices because Prop 13 may get repealed. We don't want that to happen.
And it's still the greatest country in the world, but it's got to pick some different leaders.
Yeah. So it's a big topic. We're not going to cover everything. If you have questions, we want you to send them to us. We will do our best to get them answered for you. But, it's important that we're all aware, and it's important that we all make the effort to make change or to not allow changes that will adversely affect us. Right?
Yeah, basically, it will adversely affect us. It will hurt us. It will hurt our families behind us, our children and grandchildren, and we can stop it. we can make right decisions, and I think we'll be okay. And I don't think big business is going to let this happen, but they'll be putting a lot of money in this campaign. So think about it, take a look at it, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So you are.
I'm Mike McDonald.
I'm Mary Ann Bean with Remax and Power in Burbank. And we're going to ask you, mark your calendars every Tuesday at noon when we go live on Facebook with Ask Mike.
Why is it Ask Mike? Why is it Ask Mike and Mary Ann?
You're just so much smarter than me. You know everything.
You know what? I hope we recorded this because I got a woman saying I'm smarter than her. Fortunately, it's not my wife. But.
So log in, watch our show, ask your questions, comment, and most importantly, like our Mike and Mary Ann Real Estate Facebook page. Please go to our website. Right now it's maryannbean.com, but shortly it will be Mike and Mary Ann Bean Real Estate. You can check out all of our current listings, everything that's happening with us in real estate, and our latest blog posts. Don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, both Mike and Mary Ann Real Estate. As always, we love to hear from you. DM us here on Facebook or IG, and we'll see you next week.
Now you know why I brought her on. I don't have to say much.
You said it all.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. And if we can answer your questions, don't be afraid to give us a call too. We're here, so there's no charge.
You have a phone number?
I do. 818-612-5145.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye now.